Hi everyone! Hope you are having a good day or you have had a good day. My name is Cara and I'm an English teacher in Australia and also online. I teach on YouTube and Facebook. So right now you are either on Facebook or on YouTube. So please say hello. And if you're on Facebook, please share the video so that other people can find it too. I can see on YouTube, Julie, Saeed, Yuri. Good to see you all again. What's shaking? Nice one. Maria, Jose, Amir, maybe two Amirs. So it's great to see everyone here. I don't know what time it is for you, but in Australia it is 9 p.m. at night. Well, at least on this side of Australia. Okay, so yesterday I did a lesson, the first lesson on a and the. And they're small, tiny words, but there is a lot to learn. So I've actually broken it into 3 lessons, and this lesson will mainly focus on the. Okay? Hi, Jesse. All right. So let's get started because there is a lot to learn about the. So okay. Let's start with yesterday's homework. So yesterday we did a and the, and I want you to complete these sentences. So you can do number 1 or 2 or 3, you can do all of them. Just write your answers in the comments below. It's 5:30 p.m. Interesting. Hi, Carrie. Yes, I do have the same students on YouTube every day, which is awesome. I'm so glad you're doing this challenge with me. So who can tell me what goes in the gaps? Hello, Aziz. Good. Saeed. So the number 1 is the. Good, Julie. Good, Clesio. Julie said for number 2. Well done, Maria. Hi, Jane. Number 3, yeah, you have to be fast, is the. Good. Good job. Julie again. Khalid maybe, number 2. Oi, good to see you again. Got the. Number 4. Okay, so 5, we've got a. Right on, Julie. Oh no, not a. That's wrong. The second part you got right, I think. The. Good, Jesse. Okay, great. Thanks, Khalid. Good. Well done. Almost Yuri. And the 6 is A. Well done. So I think, well done, Carol. Sayed asks, can you say open a door? Yes, you can. But that is if there are many doors and you don't mind which one. So if you are in a room and it has 3 doors, you can say, just to let some air in, please open a door. But if there's only 1 door, you must say the door. Good Carol. Good moi. Oh no, so moi should be for number 6. Yes, and a few people missed an apartment because apartment starts with a vowel sound. Alright, so that was from yesterday's lesson. So if you didn't see it, you can find it on YouTube and on Facebook, and I'll give you a link in a minute. But we looked at a or an and the noun, countable and uncountable nouns, and a or the when we're talking about one of many or only one. And this part is what we will expand on today. So there are many rules for the, and many exceptions, especially when we're talking about whether you use the or nothing. Now, I'm going to try to teach you many of the rules, but it's impossible for me to teach you all of them in one lesson. So, and I don't think it's helpful, because how can you remember so many rules at once? But I will teach you the most important ones. And then tomorrow we will look at the different pronunciations. So for example, we could say the and we can say the. So when do we say the and the? All right, so let's go. So this is from yesterday. So this is the most important rule for using a, an, or the. So does the listener or the reader know what we mean? So the virus has spread to nearly every country because everyone is talking about the same virus at the moment, coronavirus or COVID-19. We can say the because we're being specific, and I say the virus, you know what I mean. Okay. I might have a different virus, but then I would say I have a virus, not the coronavirus. Okay. And then I have a few more examples. So I bought a new shirt. The shirt is red. It's from yesterday. My husband is in the kitchen. We only have one kitchen. My dog is in the garden. We only have one garden. I dropped my pen on the floor. It must be this floor. So quick revision for you. Are these the same years? I was talking to Neil about the music. Yeah, say they're the same. Okay. So, when there is only one, we use the. So, the sun, there's only one. Well, for us, there's only one. The moon, the world, the sky, the equator, the President of the United States. If we're talking about one of the previous presidents, we'd say a former president. But when I say the President of the United States, you know who I mean. There's only one. Also, we use it for the police, the fire brigade, the army. So these ones, basically, there's only one for a country. You might have different types, but we, as we're not in the police, we think of them as just having one. So we say the police. And same for the fire brigade and the army. Now this, the city. So, and this is a little bit different in different countries, but in Australia, if I say the city, then I'm talking about the closest capital city. I'm going to the city, or I live in the city. Country here is talking about countryside. So if I say I live in the city, it means I live in the city center or downtown in America. If I say I live in the country, I don't mean Australia. The country is the regional country area, countryside. So tell me in the comments, do you live in the city or the country? Alright, we also use the when we're talking about positions. So the top, the bottom, the left, the right, the center or the middle, because there really is only one space. Okay, so in Australia, I live on the west. Some people say the north. So when we're talking about a position, we use the. Clesio lives in the city. All right, places. Most places need the, even when we're not being specific. So the station, the train station, the bus stop, the cinema, the theatre, the post office, the supermarket. So if I say to a friend, what are you doing on the weekend? The weekend, she says, I'm going to the cinema. Now the cinema is a place, but it's not important which cinema. So she's talking about it in general, and I don't need to know which cinema. Maybe my city has 4 cinemas, but she still uses the. Okay, so for most places we use the. For example, I'm going to the cinema on Saturday. I have to go to the post office. Good, so Maria, you live in a city. That's right. Clesio lives in a city. Maria, you can say I live in the city, because I'm not worried about one of many cities. But when we're talking about where we live, if it's the city or the country, we say the. Okay, and Jane lives in Porto Alegre. I live in the city. So if I say, do you live in the city or the country? I don't mind where, if it's Póvoa or Porto Alegre. I just want to know if you live in a busy place with lots of people, or if you live in a quiet country town. Okay, so Yuri says he lives in the city, but it's a really small city. Okay. Countryside, it means. Saeed. Okay. So here are exceptions, and there are many exceptions. So this list on the left: prison, hospital, university, college, church, school. It depends how you use them. So when we're not being specific, we don't use the. When we are being specific, we use the. So if I said he's in prison, it's not important which prison or where the prison is. It's important that he is there. The prison was built in 1987. In this case, we're being specific. You know which prison. We're talking more about the building. With hospital, I have to go to hospital. Or I live next to the hospital. So the first one is not specific. What's important is that I'm going to a hospital. Doesn't matter which one. Okay, so we just say I have to go to hospital. If it's important, if we're talking about the location or something specific about the hospital, I live next to the hospital. So a few questions. Okay, so Khaled, I think, sorry. The answer is the city. I live in the city. Okay. In Australia, town is a village. So Australia has a few capital cities. Sydney is the biggest. Melbourne is also quite large. So we would say that's the city. But maybe compared to the population in other countries, they are small cities. Do we say town or village? We usually say town. Yeah, and it's the same as village. I don't know. I think village is a bit smaller even than town. If you wanted to say 2 weekends from now, would you say neither for that one? Say it. And Jose, I'm ignoring. Alright, so places with no the, almost always. So bed, work, and home. So in most sentences that you will make, you will say, I'm going to bed. I'm going to work. I finished work. I'm going home. Not the home or a home. I'm going home. But if we're talking about bed we're talking about the furniture, we say the bed because it's more about the thing, the furniture. So the bed is really comfortable. We're describing it. I'm sitting on the bed. The bed is large. But if we say that's where we're going to sleep, we say I'm going to bed. The video stopped. Did it? No. Sorry, Jane. Jane said the video has stopped, but I think it's okay. Hi, Trika. Long time. Alright. A few more. How are you going? Lots of rules. So, radio, internet, and television. For radio and internet, we use the. I heard it on the radio. Or how much time do you spend on the internet? So we always use the. Television, we don't. So I watch television in the evening, but for radio, I listen to the radio. Why? Don't know. And that is why learning about the is so difficult, because so many rules and so many exceptions. So the television, just have to remember. And this one, it's a little bit like bed, yeah? So remember we said I'm going to bed, but I'm sitting on the bed. With television, I watch television in the evening. The television is broken. So we're not talking about what you do with the television. We're talking about the equipment. All right. Yes, you're right, Saeed, with work. Yeah, I think the video is fine. Hi, Ahmed. Alright, so Trika has asked a question. It's a good question, so I'm going to put it in here. So thanks, Trika. I'm sitting in a chair, I'm sitting in that chair. What is the difference? Very good. So in the first one chair, it's not clear which chair. It doesn't matter which chair, it's just one of many chairs. I'm sitting in the chair. Maybe there's only one chair. Or maybe if you say it to me, then I know which chair. So when it's a specific chair and the reader or the listener knows which chair, you can use the. Okay. Now remember, if you use the wrong one, it doesn't have a big impact. So a native speaker will probably understand you, but they also will probably know that it's wrong, but they won't tell you. Okay, so it's something that you need to learn and study yourself, because a native speaker is not going to be confused sometimes, but most of the time they won't be confused, but they'll just be like, oh, that was wrong. Okay. All right, next. So we've done radio, internet, television, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Know the. What did you have for breakfast? What time do you have lunch? I didn't have dinner last night. Except with an adjective. The dinner was delicious. So I'm being specific about a dinner. Or did you have a nice lunch? Okay, so in this case we use the article with an adjective. Alright, what's next? Alright, this one can be quite difficult to understand. So, again, it's about general and specific. So general, know the, specific, the. Dogs are wonderful pets. So I'm talking about all dogs. Specific, all the dogs at the park are friendly. Okay, so I'm being specific, some dogs, right? And the ones at the park. So I use that. Children start school on Monday. So all children. The children are tired. So if I say the children are tired, it means that you know which children. So it could be my children or your children, but the children are specific. I love listening to music in general. The music was wonderful. So maybe we went to the theatre and there was music. We said, the music was wonderful. But music in general, I love listening to music. Too much salt is bad for your health. Could you pass the salt? So in this case, there's a jar of salt on the table. That salt, okay? Whereas the first one, too much salt, this one is general. Teachers have a great job. So all teachers or teachers in general. Do the teachers need to wear a uniform? So this is specific teachers at a specific school maybe, or in a specific city. Okay, now this one. All the things in a category use the. Okay, so all the things in a category use the. The kangaroo is only found in Australia. Kangaroos are only found in Australia. So in this case, we can use both. The first one, the kangaroo, to me, sounds more formal. We're talking about the group of animals. Okay, so the kangaroo, all of them, the type of animal, the category. This one, the wheel was invented in 3500 BC. We could say wheels were invented in 3500 BC, but this one is more common, the wheel. So it's like the category, the concept was invented then. This is also how we often talk about instruments. Can you play the piano? Not this piano, but all pianos in general as a category of instrument. The violin is a lovely instrument. So usually for instruments, we use the. Right, so Trika says the first one is a species. So yes, that's the category. All right. And places. I hope this isn't too small. Lots of information to fit here. What you can do is learn the places that you need first. So where you live, the oceans that are near you, the things you will use in conversation or writing. And then gradually, as you expand, just check, do I need that or nothing? All right, just going back. Yeah. So, Saeed just wants to check. No. So Saeed, you can say kangaroos. You can say wheels. So they're correct. Especially for this case, because we're talking about history, we usually say the wheel. So when we're talking about a category or a type. I know it's strange, but we do. In this one, it's in the present, and it might come up in informal conversations. So you can say kangaroos, but it's not wrong to say the kangaroo. Okay. All right, names of places. We don't use that with continents. So Africa, Europe. No, the Europe. Countries, France, Australia, Egypt. So we don't say the Australia, just Australia. Islands, Tasmania, Hawaii. Cities, towns, Tehran, Beijing. Mountains, Everest, Kilimanjaro. So most of the time So all of these are, yeah, these are the most common rule, all right? On the right, we have exceptions. Okay. Oh, good, say it. All right, so we use the with countries that include words like kingdom, states, or republic. The United Kingdom, the United States, the People's Republic of China. Countries that have plural nouns, so the Netherlands, see there's an S, and the Philippines, so we use the when it's a plural. The Canary Islands, so for groups of islands. For one island, no the. For a group of islands, the. So for rivers, seas, mountain ranges, and deserts, we use the. The Himalayas, the Pacific Ocean, the Sahara. All right, organizations, the World Health Organization, everybody is talking about that. Them at the moment, so we use the UN. See how, so UN is United Nations. When an acronym, so that's the letters, is spelt, so we don't say UN, we say UN. So not UN, UN. So with an acronym that is spelt, we usually put the. When an acronym is not spelt, like NATO, we just say NATO. We don't say the NATO. All right. Important buildings, the Empire State Building, the Eiffel Tower. We usually use the. Are you okay? Oh my goodness. So many rules, so many exceptions. Maybe you can watch this video again if you want. There are really too many for you to remember all of them at once. And this is not all of the rules. There are even more. But I hope that you remembered some of them. And now you might understand that the general and specific, the difference between the two, and also when there's only one or there's one of many. Okay, can I say pyramids or the pyramids? So this one, it depends on the context. So let me give you some examples. What time will we go to see the pyramids? Pyramids can be found in Egypt. Where about, say? Yeah, I think that's better. Or actually, better one. Better. There are many pyramids in Egypt. There you go. Okay. So I hope that helps you. Who asked that? I think Khaled. What time will we go to see the pyramids? So here we're being specific, and here we're talking about pyramids in general. So specific, use the. In general, no the. All right. Thanks, Carol. Oh, good. For abbreviations, more than a word, right. Trika, I don't understand your question about abbreviations. Sorry. Okay. So I hope you are all okay with all the rules. Here is the homework. So I'll give you the answer tomorrow. So you need to use and, the, or nothing. So this is quite tricky, but do your best. Yeah, Melbourne, it doesn't have. So cities don't have the before it. Okay, good. I'm glad you're okay. So if you want more, I've got all the lessons. So this is the link to all the lessons on the 30-day Corona English Challenge. So you can see down this side, we're up to day 22, so nearly there. And tomorrow I'll be doing pronunciation of a, an, or the. It is a big topic, you're right. And I shared this yesterday, but you might like to revise countable and uncountable nouns, so I'll send you that link too. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it helped and your mind is not too confused by all the different rules and exceptions. Thank you very much for watching.